like to first respond to Dr. Budnitz's questions on culture. I think if you're looking at the plant for those indicators, you're looking in the wrong place. You've got a severe forest and trees problem. I think for cultural problems, you ought to look at things like leveling off your capital budget. Maintenance CapEx is going up across the industry for aging plants. PG&E's currently pending general rate case indicates 2017 and beyond they intend to level out about $200 million a year. You look at things like when you're told you need to evaluate the shoreline fault against your double design earthquake, and you decide, no, I don't want to do those tests, let's just amend the license to take the test out of the license.
I'm not going to respond to that. You've been saying that every meeting for 2 years, and it's just not in our remit, including it's not a cultural question either. That's Budnitz's view, Mr. Geesman, okay?
Something motivated that instinct, something motivated the desire to lobby the NRC for a year in order to get the NRC to reverse itself. You'll find that very analogous to what happened in the gas pipeline situation.
I just don't believe that.
When the independent peer review panel that's established by the Public Utilities Commission says you don't have enough data to support your ground motion assumptions at the site, you decide instead to go cheap and model your way out of the problem instead. Those are the kinds of cultural indicators that you'll find parallel the set of circumstances that the United States Attorney has brought in her indictment on the gas system.
Okay, thank you.
I would suggest that we've still got the elephant in the room of the INPO downgrade. I understand and respect the reasons why the details for that downgrade need to remain confidential.
No, its existence is confidential, sir.
Well, I don't think its existence is confidential when everyone knows of its existence. And I think the committee would do well.
You can't get us to even say that it exists.
I think the committee would do well to ask PG&E to set a date when it expects to regain its prior INPO rating. Set a benchmark. Write it on the calendar. Evaluate progress against that objective. You don't do that, you're going to find yourself going down the same path that gas pipeline regulators did. And therein lies your cultural problem.
Thank you, Mr. Geesman. I do have an opinion on what Mr. Geesman just said. I, for one, certainly welcome Mr. Geesman's offering to the committee
Me too.
an alternative measure of how anybody else out there measure corporate performance. Now, in front of the committee, I see Mr. Wells' presentation of a very comprehensive, systematic measurements, performance indicator. But Mr. Geesman made a substantial contribution to the committee's charter of safety review by offering an alternative. I am not addressing the merits of Mr. Geesman's alternative measurement. I'm just saying I, for one, welcome anybody who will come to this committee and offer an alternative measurement without addressing, I repeat, without addressing.
All right, so I want to address the merits. The first one has merit, the third one has merit, and the middle one doesn't.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
That's just Budnitz's view. Right? Just doesn't have any merit. That whole thing about the seismic, it's merit-free. I said that to you for 2 years, I think.
Follow-up comments, Mr. Geesman?
Let me add one current twist on it.
We're allowed to disagree with each other.
And that is when your lawyers tell you you may be able to blow this by the ASLB,
Who told you?
you decide to put final on your seismic report, you turn it in 9 months before the SHAC process has been allowed to conclude.
Again, thank you for Mr. Geesman's observation, and the record would, as always, fully reflect the views and opinions of our participants. Thank you.